And this Drugstore one is the, hang on, I should be holding them in the other hand. Oops. You know, like when you suck a lemon? Not that I've ever sucked a lemon, but hello? But yeah, the thing is with every plumping glass, oh, wow, feels really weird. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It feels like I've been away for ages. I was away in Dorset for a week, so I have had a holiday, but it feels like I haven't filmed in forever because I pre-filmed a couple of videos before I went. But today I thought I would bring back something that I used to do quite a lot at the beginning of my channel, which is drugstore dupes. I don't think I've done a video of dupes in a good while, and I did do a TikTok like a few weeks back of a dupe of one of the Fenty lip glosses, and then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just make a full video of makeup dupes? And I can do this as like a mini series, and as new products come in that I think is a good dupe of something else, I will let you guys know. And just to clarify, obviously these products aren't going to be exactly the same because they're different brands, different formulas, different packaging. This is just my opinion of things that I think are similar to each other, and I'm going to put them on my face at the same time so you can see for yourself. If you like this kind of video, please give this a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, if you want to see more of these, first of all, let me know if you've got any good dupes in the comments, and secondly, let me know if you want to see any more of these because I can definitely do like multiple parts to this little dupe series, I guess. By the way, let me know in the comments who remembers this shirt that I did as a DIY last summer. Brought it back out again because it's actually quite warm in the UK. This isn't a full face, but I'm gonna like dip in and out of different products, you know. So I have already primed my face. I used the Beauty Blender Leveler Primer, but it actually worked really nicely at like smoothing out my skin, I think. For my base, a dupe that I actually accidentally discovered, the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation is actually a really good dupe of the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I do have the mini one of the IT Cosmetics one, but this is expensive stuff. I will put the prices on the screen of like, you know, the drugstore versus the high end. But even the packaging, like okay, imagine this if this was bigger. Even the packaging is, oh, it's backwards. Even the packaging is relatively similar. They're both squeezy tubes. They both have SPF 50+. They both are suitable for sensitive skin. This one says instantly younger and healthier looking skin. This one says color correcting full coverage cream. Even the colors that I've got in these are very similar. So in the IT Cosmetics one, I wear, oh, the shade Light. And then the number 7 foundation, I've got the shade Beige. So I'm gonna do IT Cosmetics on this side and number 7 on this side. So let's squeeze out. Oh crap, I just put on way too much. You don't need much of this IT Cosmetics one because it's got such good coverage, and I've just done like enough for my entire face. I actually really like both of these products and would repurchase both of them actually. Look, do you see how similar those shades are? They're both very neutral shades. So let's blend out the IT Cosmetics side first. So it is labelled as a CC cream. Initially, I kind of thought it was going to be really lightweight feeling and not thick, but it is actually quite a thick product. Like if you're wanting something that doesn't feel like you're wearing anything on your skin, I mean, it actually feels fine. Like it does feel really lovely, but what I'm trying to say is like it's quite a thick product and you can definitely see it on your skin. It's not like a super lightweight moisturizer feeling type product. But yeah, you can see that has got really, really good coverage. I'm just going to take a different brush for the other side, but a very similar style of brush. And yeah, I really, really love both of these products. The number 7 one has a little bit less coverage. Like I said, put way too much of this one on. I didn't need this much coverage on this side of my face, but I am just going to add a little bit more of the number 7 to try and match. So looking at them side by side in the mirror and in the viewfinder, the number 7 one looks a little bit more glowy. The CC cream, IT Cosmetics CC cream looks a little bit more on the matte side. I wouldn't say that's matte though. I think it could be to do with the primer that I used on underneath. But as you can see, I think personally they give a very similar sort of overall look of the skin, and they just even it out really nicely. They're a very, very similar sort of consistency. They both have got that SPF 50, like I said, and they just really remind me of each other. And I think if you like the IT Cosmetics CC cream, you will probably really like the number 7 foundation. So this is the number 7 side. This is the IT Cosmetics CC cream side. Let me know what you think. Right, so I don't have a concealer dupe, but if you guys have any dupes that you want me to test that you've seen that are supposedly dupes for each other, let me know. If not, I will try and find a good one for the next time I do one of these videos. So I'm just gonna do my concealer and then I will be right back. Hello, so I'm back. I just used the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I just wanna say, I did say that I liked the finish of this primer at the beginning, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it if you want your base to look nice and glowy and dewy, because I think this has made my overall base a lot more matte because I'm looking a little bit dry. So moving on to powder, something that I realized really reminded me of this Too Faced powder. Okay, wait, let me start from the beginning. This is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Pore Blurring and Mattifying Face Powder, and the packaging is really cute actually. I really like it, and the actual powder itself, when I first got this, I was like, that is the strangest texture of powder because it's so thin that when you pick it up on your finger, you can't actually see it. But it's just a very odd feeling powder, and it feels so lightweight and smooth. And then when I got this one, you know what? I have actually had a very similar powder in the past from Topshop, but I don't think Topshop do beauty anymore. But this is the Kiko Mood Boost Perfecting Powder. And again, it's just this very thin texture that when you pick it up on your finger, you can't even see it. These feel so similar. This Kiko one was part of their Mood Boost collection, and it was like a limited packaging. I do have the same powder in a different packaging from one of Kiko's other collections. I do believe that Kiko have got this powder in their permanent collection, like their translucent powder. So this Too Faced powder is £26. The Kiko one is still currently available, and it's £10.49. The only difference that I would say is between these at the moment is that the Kiko one is like a little more glowy looking, but actually on the skin they look very, very similar and they feel very similar. So I'm just going to set my under eyes, and I'm using the Too Faced one first with one half of the brush, and then I'm going to flip the brush over to do the other eye. So I'm literally just sitting my eye apparently. So as you can see, like mattifies your skin, undetectable. And then I'm just flipping my brush around and setting the other side, and as you can see, they both are undetectable. They both feel pretty undetectable, and they are so similar. Again, I don't have any bronzer, so I'm just going to do a little bit of cream bronzer because I do have a cream blush dupe for you. There is actually a cream bronzer that I've got my eye on that I think looks like a good dupe for something else, so that will be coming in the next video, but I've just got to buy it first. So I'm just doing a bit of cream contour with the Nude Sticks contour in Bondi Bay. Well, it's not contour, is it? Because it's bronzer. The only thing that is so frustrating about getting my hair done the other week is like these blonde bits around my face. I just end up staining them orange when I blend my bronzer into my hairline. So the next dupe is actually for a liquid blush, and again, this was another accidental discovery. When I was trying this out, I was sort of like, you know what, that's really, really similar to this. This is the Iconic London Sheer Blush. I've got the shade Cheeky Coral. I just want to say the shades aren't exactly the same, but the formula is very, very similar, and they are quite similar to be fair. And this Drugstore one is the, hang on, I should be holding them in the other hand. Oops. This one is the B by Superdrug, so it's Superdrug own brand liquid blush in the shade Apricot. And I have to say, I don't really rate the Iconic one that much. It could just be the colour that I have because it doesn't really show up that well, like it's quite light. Whereas this one shows up really nicely, but yeah, they give that like gorgeous sort of dewy, glowy looking skin and give a nice flush of colour. So I would say that these two are very, very similar in terms of formula. The Iconic liquid blush is £18 and the B by Superdrug, $6.99. Let's do the Iconic London one first, and I think what I will actually do is like squeeze a little bit onto the back of my hand and then dip my brush into it. Do you see what I mean? Like it just doesn't really show up. I'm actually just going to try taking a little bit on my fingers and doing it this way. Okay, you can see it a little bit, but like, do you see what I mean? It's not really giving me a whole lot. But as you can see, it's definitely giving my skin a bit of radiance. It's not really shimmer, it's more just like a wet, fresh looking glow. And then the Superdrug one, you know what? I'm also just going to take some on my finger. And let's get this piece of hair out of the way. Oh my god, I need to pluck that eyebrow. Okay, I have to say, I prefer the Superdrug one. I prefer it. I prefer the way it applies. It's not like as wet, so it doesn't remove your makeup underneath as much. The shades on my skin actually look quite similar, you know. Can you even see either of them on my face? Let's put some just down my nose. Obviously, I can't really do half and half on my nose. They both do sort of dry down a little bit, so they don't stay super wet. Do you see what I mean? They're very, very similar in terms of the formula. And I would say the shade is quite similar actually as well. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the Kiko powder to this side of my face. I'm not actually going to add it all over. I know, shock, who am I? I'm putting it sort of like in my smile lines, in this area like around my nose, and then I'm going to put a little bit under here, but I'm not going to set my cheek because I don't really feel like I need to. My face is already quite matte from that primer. So that's that side, and then I'll use the Too Faced on the other side. I've really missed doing these videos. Something that I find with my highlighters is that I always find myself reaching for very similar shades. A lot of the time I go for like a golden, light golden, champagne-y toned highlighter. And one that obviously I use all the time is my one with Revolution. And in my previous palette with Revolution, like my big highlighter palette, there was the gold shade that I used all the time. And now obviously I have the Cookies and Cream highlighter duo, and this shade here is very similar to another highlighter that I do love. This one is by Bare Minerals. This one I think is around £20. Let me just have a look. I know you're probably gonna roll your eyes like, Sophie, really? Like, are you really trying to make one of your products be a dupe for something else? It wasn't an intentional dupe, but when I show you the swatches, they're very, very similar. Oh yeah, this is in the shade Free. They do other shades as well. These are really beautiful highlighters, and I love Bare Minerals as a brand. It's £26, which is quite a lot for a highlighter. You get 10 grams of product in here. In my one, you get 2 times 4.5 grams. Oh my god. What's going on there? My other hand isn't like that. Okay, before this video, I was like rubbing foundations and stuff into my hand. Whatever that was, that's oxidized. I also think I just rubbed that. Okay, I'm gonna swatch in the other hand. Okay, so Bare Minerals, this shade here from my Cookies and Cream highlighter palette. Very, very similar. This one is the Bare Minerals. This one is my one with Revolution. So as you can see, they're not exactly the same, but let me just put them on my skin and I'll show you the differences. So I'm just sort of blending this all over my cheeks. It is really, really pretty. And then other side is my Soph X Revolution side. So again, it's one of those situations where you wouldn't necessarily look at me and be like, whoa, she's wearing 2 different highlighters. I think my one is a little bit lighter. This one is a little bit darker, isn't it? That one's definitely got a little bit more of like a deeper undertone. I think my one's actually a little bit more blinding. I've probably put a little bit too much on. They're pretty similar. So next, I have an eyebrow dupe, which you've probably picked up on over the past few weeks, months on my channel. I do actually have another highlighter dupe, but I'm going to save that for another video. I have been so into my brow pens recently. I think I mentioned at the time that I tried this, like, oh, this is really similar to the NYX one. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pen. I've got the shade Soft Brown, which I don't think is the exact right shade for me, but it is so similar to the NYX Lift and Snatch brow tint pen. I've got ash brown in this, and I would say that this is a pretty spot on shade for my eyebrows. Anastasia Beverly Hills ones, £23. NYX brow pen is £10. So I'm gonna do the ABH side first. By the way, let me just show you. The thing that is so similar about these is the applicator. The NYX one has actually got an even smaller applicator. So the NYX one is this one on the my left, your right, and the Anastasia one is this one here. But as you can see, they've both got these very small sort of fine brush tip applicators. But what I use this for is to just, oh my god, okay. Hello? Just draw in some brow hairs and fill in any gaps, and you can sort of draw in fake looking little hairs, which is what I really like about these brow pens. Although I guess what I don't love about them is that you do have to be really precise and have quite a steady hand. Normally when I do my eyebrows with these types of pens, I have been doing them before my foundation. Over the top of foundation, it doesn't seem to be working as well. Actually, I do think this shade is alright for my eyebrows. Maybe because it's not putting tons of product in. Let me actually just see if the next one is going to do the same. This one usually works fine over the top of my foundation, I think. Yep. Again, this is another situation where I actually prefer the more affordable one. Now they look very uneven because this side obviously isn't as dark and I couldn't get the pen to show up as much. This one definitely looks more natural. This one maybe is looking a little bit heavy. But when that happens, when I don't have my foundation on, I sort of like blend over the edges with my beauty blender. Okay, I don't have any brow gel handy, but I do have my Urban Decay Subversion Lash Primer. Little hack for this product, if you have this, try it in your eyebrows. It works really well as like a soap brow thing. You do have to flatten it down with your finger though. And obviously like it's best to do this before you've done your base. I might actually just have to add a little bit of NYX one to this eyebrow because it's bugging me how different they look. Oh my god. Okay, now they still look really, oh, fucking hell. What have I done to my eyebrows today? This next one, I'm just gonna wait for it to sort of work its magic while I do the rest of my makeup. These are plumping lip products. I've got the Too Faced Lip Injection Maximum Plump and the Barry M That's XX Swell Extreme Lip Plumper. I'm just gonna put the Too Faced one on. Oh, okay, the smell of them sort of makes me like, my face all like tense up. It's sort of like, oh, it makes all the muscles in my face hurt. You know, like when you suck a lemon? Not that I've ever sucked a lemon, but it's that sort of like sour, muscle crampy feeling. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone else understand? But as soon as I smell plumping lip glosses, I'm a bit like, I don't tend to reach for these extreme plumping glosses much anymore, purely for that reason, and they're kind of painful. But yeah, the thing is with every plumping gloss, oh, it's already starting to feel weird. Oh my god, do you think in another video where I try plumping lip things, I should put it on half my lips and see if they swell? They are only temporary, like they don't last very long. Barry M1 doesn't smell as scary. They both burn. But the Barry M1 is still really good as a plumping gloss, but like I said, with all of these, they only last temporarily. But if you are into a plumping gloss, I definitely recommend giving it a go. But oh my god, ow, my lips are burning. It feels so uncomfortable. Oh, wow, feels really weird. So the next dupe is actually for cake liners, and I have tried quite a lot of these. I just want to quickly point out, when I first put these lip plumpers on, the Too Faced one tingled a lot more at the beginning. Now the Barry M one has taken over. The high-end cake liners that I've got, which I do actually really love, are the Norvina and ABH ones. These annoyingly only come in sets of 3, so you can't buy them individually. You have to buy the whole stack, which I guess is just like another way to sort of make money, which is fair enough. And for a stack of these, it's £31 in the UK, which is obviously like quite a lot for 3 little cake liners. They do last you quite a while though, and I do really like these. I really like the formula of them. But a brand recently that I've got to say, I hadn't actually heard of them before they reached out to me and said, would I like to receive some? And they did actually have a video recently that blew up on TikTok, and I mentioned them in a previous video where I did the cake liners, and this is Glisten Cosmetics. These are the best cake liners that I've tried. They're just so good, and they've got so many different colours. Like, most brands just have about 5 different shades. Look how many they have. And these are £6.50 each, but if you do buy them as a bundle, I think it's if you buy 4 or more of these, you get a discount. So like the more that you buy, the cheaper they become. You save more money. Does that make sense? Oh, I also do have a discount code. This is an affiliate code. No, I'm not just putting them in this video because I have an affiliate code. I just wanted to share them because they are a really good dupe. And I would say actually like the formula of these, it's comparable to the ABH ones. They're both really lovely formulas. And like I said, like if you're not comfortable with affiliate code, you don't have to use it. My discount code is SOF20 and you can get 20% off. They also have these as well, which are little palettes that they came out with as like collaborations with different creators. And each of the creators got their own little palette, which I think is a really cool idea. And this one, very, very similar to the ABH shades, just minus the green really. And this is the collaboration palette, which is by Holifer, who is amazing. She's so talented. Oh man, this one's sold out. But they have other ones as well, and like I said, they've got all the individual ones. But I am just going to use the palette just for like ease of use because it is so similar to these. And you literally just use water with these. I find it works better if you just use water rather than setting spray. So I am aware that like £22 for a cake eyeliner palette isn't exactly, it's expensive. It's not drugstore prices, but considering you get 5 in here, it makes it a better deal because like there's quite a lot of product in each of these. I'm just spraying a bit of water like into the lid so I can dip my brush into it. And then finally the purple. Okay, so that is that eye done. And then on this side, I'm going to do the exact same shades, but I'm going to use the Anastasia ones and try and get them even. This is going to be very difficult. With the ABH ones, I literally just spray like 1 spritz into the actual liner. Probably better to do on your brush though. I don't know. Oh, I can already tell that's not even, is it? So I'm then dipping into the other palette to use the yellow. And then switching back to this palette for the orange. And then finally back to this one for the purple. That's those. I know that I haven't done the shapes perfectly even, but if I had, probably wouldn't look at me and think that I'd use 2 completely different brands or products for these. Okay, so in terms of the lip plumping, I think both sides did get a little bit more plump, but the tingle of both of them is sort of starting to fade now. Block my lips slightly, and I don't have another lip dupe. Well, I do technically. The Maybelline Lifter glosses are a pretty good dupe for the Fenty one, but go and look at my TikTok for that because I don't want to like repeat myself. So just over the top of those, I've put a bit of the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Nude Romance. I did have a mascara one, but I think I'm going to leave that to the next video because this is getting really long. I'm just going to quickly put some mascara on and I'll be right back. So this is my finished face. I know this looks a little bit wild, but I just wanted to test all of the different colours. But if you were looking at me right now, I don't actually think you would know that I have got different brands and different products on either side of my face. It all looks pretty much the same to me, and I think I have shown you guys some pretty good dupes here. Let me know what you think, and let me know if there are any other dupes that you know of and want me to test. So everyone, this is me done. I'm now just going to read a question of the day. If you guys have got any more questions for me, let me know down below with the hashtag question of the day. I will also leave all of these products links down below, so if you guys want to shop them, I will leave them down there. Today's question of the day comes from Jade Montana, and she has said, okay, so an urgent question here. What eye primer do you use? I've tried about 4 disappointing ones and I'm ready for the real deal now. Also, thanks for the great video. Thank you so much. So, eye primers that I'd recommend, let me just go grab them. There are certain ones that I like, certain ones that I don't like. I know that not everybody likes as full coverage of an eye primer as I do. I personally really like mine to like cover my veins so that I don't have to put concealer on my eyelids and then primer. These ones are all pretty full coverage, but I find they work really well with like bright eyeshadows because it gives a really nice base for them and something for them to stick to. I actually really like the NARS one. This is the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, and I've got the shade Light, and it looks like a concealer, but this is a really nice eyeshadow base. I don't know why, there's no point me swatching them because it's literally an eyeshadow base. Another one that's a high-end one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I know some people don't like this, but I really like it. I think it's quite similar to the sort of P. Louise type bases. I haven't actually tried P. Louise, but I know that a lot of people rave about the P. Louise one, which is like a very full coverage eye primer, and this one is very full coverage and it's also very, very pale. One that is really similar to that is the Revolution Ultimate Eye Base. These are very, very similar, and I think this one is also similar to the P. Louise one. Again, in a squeezy tube and very pale. They do this in 3 different shades, so that one's really nice. I also really like the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. I probably, after trying the 2 of these actually, I probably do prefer this one. And then another one that I really like is the Beauty Bay one. This is the Beauty Bay Eye Base. I think I've got the shade 2. And again, looks like a concealer, gives a really nice full coverage base, and I think they do this in 5 different shades. I'd recommend those 5 if you haven't tried any of them. Right, I'm gonna go now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already and you want to see the next one of these videos. And I hope you guys are doing really good, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!